Welcome back to MFO, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. And on this Friday, I've got some breaking news regarding the Major League Fishing Pro Circuit for 2026. We've done quite a few episodes. I think this is the third episode that I've done regarding the upcoming 2026 Pro Circuit. But there's been a lot of communication going on this past week. Ever since the championship event on lacrosse, Major League Fishing has gotten feedback from the anglers that there's just $6,000 paychecks to the lower third of the field when they've got a $5,000 entry fee just wasn't going to make it. And so instead of there being just a ton of, kind of bashing MLF, a group of anglers got together, organized, and communicated to each other and went to MLF to talk about the problem and come up with some solutions. We're going to tell you about how that happened, who it was, and what we came up with when we come back. Welcome back to Mark Fisher Outdoors, everybody. I'm Mark Fisher. Like I said, since the championship, there was just a lot of talk that started about, hey, are you fishing next year? Are you kidding? For $6,000? How can we do that? We just can't do it. They're paying more money to first place. They're giving us a lot of positive things with the winner getting, an automatic berth to Red Crest. So there's some positives. It looks like they want to do the right thing. But how can we expect there to be 150 guys that are willing to fish to get $6,000 for 50th place? And a lot of that talk going on. And so what happened was some real special anglers, Kyle Cordiana, Steve Lopez, Matt Reed, Andrew Norby. These guys got together and developed a group that started kind of talking and getting feedback from anglers, finding out who was in, who wasn't, what it would take to get people in, and what kinds of things needed to happen in order to really get people excited about fishing the pro circuit. And the reality is that in literally a little over a week's time, we have gotten a group of anglers to go talk to Major League Fishing to kind of indicate what the problems were. And the problems basically fell into payouts down the line need to be increased. Jackpotters were an issue, and the question about the championship and how many people would go to the championship and what the payouts would be at the championship. Those were the things that the anglers themselves said, these are things that we have concerns about. And these are things that if those answers were improved, we would really be interested and excited about participating in the pro circuit. And so with that information, this group of 4 anglers, like I said, after doing polls and kind of getting the information really organized and, succinct to what it was that was important to the anglers, they went to the administration, to the people who are running Major League Fishing, Kathy Fennell and the like, and presented that information. And I think the interesting thing is that these are guys who they had information to present that made sense, but they also came at it from a standpoint of, we're working together. We want to understand what the business's concerns are, what Major League Fishing's concerns are, but we're asking you to kind of keep in mind what the angler's concerns are. And so working together, they kind of came up with a solution that when that solution was presented to the big body of anglers, I'm telling you, I know I'm speaking for myself. I'm impressed. We are literally spending the same amount that we spent last year in entry fees, and we've got $100,000 first place rather than an $80,000 first place. We've got a third of the field getting paid $10,000. That's back to the good old FLW days. I mean, that's awesome. Third of the field, if you're down on the last paycheck, is going to get $10,000. They still got the trips to Redcrest if you're a winner, and we're still doing a championship. I think all of these are really, really positive outcomes and ones that make me, I'm being honest, guys. When I heard $6,000 to the last place check after paying a $5,000 entry fee, I really thought that last year was my last year fishing. I was not gonna. There's only so much you can take, and that just wasn't it anymore. Now I'm in a position where I'm excited. I can't wait to get started. I can't wait to get my money in and tell them that I'm part of the group that's going to be fishing the new 2026 pro circuit. So I think that this, again, it says a lot for these 4 anglers that got things going. It says a lot for the group of anglers that shared their thoughts and communicated within this forum that we had to make things happen. And it means a lot from MLF that they're willing to kind of listen to and work with. Granted, they've got financial objectives that they have to meet, okay? But they're still willing to hear, okay, well, if we did this way, a majority of guys would like it, and that's what we want. We want to get a majority of guys to come out and fish. And I think they heard the feedback that a majority of guys are not going to fish in 2026 if you keep it the way it is. But now with the way it's going to be now, I think we're going to get a lot of guys. And I don't think we're going to have to go back to that whole jackpotter situation where we get 10 or 15 guys from the local area to join. I'm hoping that we're going to just have a field and it'll stick with that. So no jackpotters, championship, $10,000 down to a third of the field, and you still got that big first place payout plus a trip to Redcrest. A lot of positive things. I'm so happy that I'm leaving you on a Friday with good news. This really does feel like good news. And again, my sincere thanks to those 4 guys who really spearheaded this campaign, and my sincere thanks to those people at MLF that listened and made some changes. Again, speaking for myself, I'm really looking forward to 2026. Guys, I appreciate you tuning in. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, this is where you're going to get that news first. I don't think anybody else on YouTube has this stuff coming out yet. So I appreciate you tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, and we will see you again on Monday for another episode of Mark Fisher Outdoors. Take care, everybody.